12 extra minutes played at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday evening, and that in the end did for Paul Heckingbottom's Sheffield United. They were leading in the game but ended up leaving with nothing. Now, it wasn't that really got Heckingbottom going, the fact that they lost when it looked like they'd leave with 3 points. Oh no. Paul Heckingbottom started a bit of a rant, it's fair to say, but his words were directed very much at the officials.
It's not funny, the referee's just killing the game at the minute, ruining it, absolutely ruining it. I've got no qualms over the result, and you could see me from 0-0 I'm doing it because he's telling our keeper to hurry up. So we split to play out. Just look at all the goal kicks. We split to play out. So then we do it again, get out a couple of times. So what Spurs are going to do, they're going to change. So they put the ball down, Spurs change, so Wes has to make a different decision. And he's getting told to play. Well, no, why would you play then? Spurs have adapted to us, so then we have to change again and play something different. And you've got Peter, I've no problem with Peter, him and David, good guys. But the referee's just showing how little they know about the game, and they're directing it. So how can that be possible? So I go and show them at half-time. I want to show them, but I know they can't see it. So we're not taking long and go. From the moment it's down, they're taken within 10 seconds, right? From the moment it's down. But what happens is, like, because we're getting out and playing into Ollie and keeping the ball, Spurs change what they do. So Wes has a different decision to make, but he can't make his decision until Spurs have moved. Does this make sense? And the referees haven't got a clue. They don't know what I'm saying. The answer back to me was, well, kick long then. So we work all week on how we want to play, and the refs are dictated to us how we play the game. Can't happen, but it's happening. Centre-back jumps into Wes, turns his back, leads with his elbow. Wes gets stitches, and that's deemed a yellow card. Ollie McBurnie goes to the referee and says he's pulling my shirt. Not swearing. He goes to the referee. This actually, I'll see it. He's pulling my shirt. He gets booked. Deemed the same offence. We've got a player missing now. They just do not know what they're doing.
Strong words from Paul Heckingbottom. Can he really indulge in language like that and an outburst like that at a time like that? Is he speaking too soon after the event, Martin?
Well, I've done it numerous times myself, so I know I have some sort of sympathy for it. I wasn't sure. I was at the game, so I wasn't sure exactly what point Paul was trying to make there. The goalkeeper had been booked in the first half. It had actually been booked, I believe, he had been booked for handling the ball outside the penalty area. And he was taking time to kick the ball. And it's one of those situations where you know that the home fans, they're behind in the game. They're going to ask the goalkeeper to hurry up. The goalkeeper had gone down for an injury. Then he picked up, and I think he might have felt, I can take a little bit more time. And it was getting sometimes I was thinking to myself, please, you better kick this quickly because this referee's going to step in. But what the referee didn't book him for taking his time, but what he did do was add it on the minutes, the 12 minutes.
Right, and Paul knows. He knows that's going to happen.
And the 12 minutes, which I didn't see, I must admit, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
The 12 minutes, and you felt that if Tottenham Hotspur would get a goal at this particular stage, that they could go on to win the game. But that's a side issue. Getting back to the point where I think he had a point, and maybe it was in the last minutes of the game. Sheffield United have got a free kick. McBurnie's been held back. The referee books him for dissent, and then I think that's kind of harsh. I know the referees are under some sort of directives, to try and cut out this dissent, but that was harsh. The referee, I felt in the first half, had a reasonably decent time of it. The second half got a wee bit more hectic for him.
Do you think it's all, you say, okay, Paul, it's all right that you speak like that, though?
But in speaking,
he knows the rules. The rules have changed, man. There's a difference now about how they go about it.
No, I don't think. I'm not in agreement with the Rant.
Do you think he should have reined it in?
I do believe he should have reined it in. But those times, it's difficult sometimes. When you're holding on to a lead in the game. They've seen the fourth official stick up the 12 extra minutes, and you're trying to hold on. You've been defending for quite some considerable time. You've scored in the break, and you're thinking, can we just run this down? And it wasn't going to happen. So on the back of all of that there, and then the last minute, McBurnie being sent off for a second yellow card, that doesn't help. But the Rant in terms of the referees ruining the game, I'm not in agreement with that. I think the referees are under severe pressure now for certain things here. The minute somebody goes down with a head injury, he has to stop the game. Otherwise, there's going to be reprisals later on. it's just a difficult task to referee the game.
Do you back the new rules, Martin, that all these minutes are added on?
I'm in favour of it. I am honestly in favour of that. I really am. I know that sometimes that you think, well, we'll start with this here, and then it'll lessen later on. I'm all on for it because I need more time to watch a football game.
Do you think the message is going to go over, Simon? The time wasters will get the message.
Well, it depends.
You can waste time now, but it will be added on.
I mean, Howard has said in no uncertain terms, this is not for today. This is in perpetuity. So this is not a fad. This is not us addressing the issue in the short term and then rowing back. We're going to have these standards. We're going to operate. We're going to regain a little bit more control back in the officialdom world. And Paul's latched upon that. There is an element of the referee is the authority on the pitch, not the players. And the reasons why the needle is switching probably a little bit to the right for the referees is to try and establish some authority back, and it'll centralise itself. It's gone that way too far with the players. It's probably going a little bit too far with the referees now, and in the middle is where it will land. But they've brought this upon themselves. Maybe not Paul Heckingbottom and his group of players, but culturally, football has brought this sea change in the referee's attitude.
Yeah.
Ollie McBurnie has got himself in a situation where he has every right to feel aggrieved about the free kick that was awarded against him. Right, for pulling the other person's shirt when it was his shirt that was being pulled, but he's got to keep his trap shut because ultimately he's now got himself booked on the back of dissent. It's easier said than done. I understand that because when you're in that moment of a great emotion, not everyone can walk around being laissez-faire about it. But these are the rules, and it's going to like the idea of we want you to stand 10 yards back, and people refuse to do it. So they got so bleeding basic they've put a spray can with a line on it to get people to get the point, because it's about what the authorities are prepared to do. I would like dissent out of the game. I would like time wasting out of the game, and the people that are the recipients of the disadvantages of the time wasting are those that are time wasting, and that's what you want.
It's gone full circle.
I have actually sympathy for McBurnie because he's been held back. He can't make the run into the penalty area, and at a peak, he's decided. He has actually, according to the referee, overstepped the mark, and he's been booked for dissent. Now these are a new set of rules. They've just come in. It's not going to. The players eventually will have to shall I say, accustom themselves to this. But at this minute is difficult, and you're being held back a minute. You're trying to get yourself into the penalty area, and the next thing you know, you're being fouled. But the referee has now decided because you've chatted back to him that he's going to book you. I have sympathy for that.
Having said that, we back Howard Webb, don't we?
We do.
And what he's trying to do.
Look,
you have to, Martin, I think.
Whenever we say to these players, how, because there's this argument being brought, or they weren't told early enough in the pre-season.
Yeah.
They have to acclimatise themselves to
That's
it,
right.
and they will take whatever period of time they want to, and then they can reap the repercussions of not acclimatising to it quick enough. I don't know whether McBurnie. I don't know if McBurnie had gone to the ref, and had got booked for that, or he had a lot more to say for himself.
Probably,
and some of the language was a bit choicer.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then he brought it upon himself. One thing saying, ref, you got it wrong. It's another thing going off chapter and verse on what he thinks of the referee's heritage.
I think you said, was it last week that Phil Dowd made up his own rules, did he?
Oh, Phil did, yes, he decided.
In the League Cup final?
Yeah, it was in the League Cup final. It was in the first minute of the game. Vidic that I spoke to actually. Yes, I mean it's something that I don't think about only about 15 times a day, and but he made up his own rules, and that was the point. If he had stayed with the rules that the referees were having, there was a fairly decent chance that with the side that we had a goal up in the first couple of minutes against Manchester United, although it was Sir Alex Ferguson's team. And we, against 10 men at Wembley, with the sort of strength and power that we had and the running power that we had in the side, we might have won. Who knows? It doesn't matter.
But it still nibbles away at you, doesn't it?
Well, of course it does. Of course it does, because it was a trophy. You want to win it. You want to win it. And the referee had a big bearing on that game. But that's... I'll not think about it now until the programme's over.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.